I always wait for the thing to start. All right. Good morning, Bengals fans. And happy Sunday to you. I think we should change the show name today. What do you think about what do you think about Sunday Fun Day?
Let's do it.
Hell
We
yeah.
definitely have some of the greatest fans, and it doesn't go unrecognized.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, but first I 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady.
My mom, by the way.
Oh, hi, Mom.
And I looked at my mind, I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go, let's go.
Oh, man, thanks
No
for
sleep,
coming
no
here.
rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch, time to run it off. I wake up, thumb down, now check. No drip, is time to run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch, time to run it off.
Good morning.
What is going on, guys? We are back with week 4 of the morning prowl. As we said in the intro, Sunday Fun Day. We don't have to stress about anything today. We got our win in, played Thursday night. It was a beautiful night. What do you think about Thursday night? Just a quick thought.
I think it was the most visually stunning game I've ever seen, and I wasn't even there. First of all, we have to talk about it. It was beautiful.
Everything about Thursday night was beautiful, and we got a wonderful guest here this morning to help break down a little bit of game film from Thursday night. You probably know him from Old Bengals. His name is Mike Sands. He's also the host for Always Game Day in Cincinnati with Lindsey Patterson. So let's get Mike on here. Mike, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Couldn't be better. Now that we're sitting at 2-2.
Yeah. I was at the game. Yeah, it was awesome. I was in white. I knew the assignment. I understood. But I even had my best friend since middle school. He's a Dolphins fan, and he came. And he incidentally wore white because he didn't know about the whiteout, and I was like, "Good, you're part of the team,
Oh, that's nice.
That's even better.
He helped the cause and didn't even know it.
I do love the shift this year from being about 60 to 70% Bengals fans to now about 85 to 95% Bengals fans. So even the Dolphins fans that I did see there at the game, from what I saw on TV after going back and watching highlights, from what I saw, it looked like they just got drowned out in the white. So awesome.
Yeah, probably a lot of them were just like, I got a white jersey, they're going to be an orange or black or something. It's like, oh no, I'm part of the swarm.
Oh, shoot.
So being at the game, what was like your initial impression of how the guys played? Like, I know it's different when you get to go back and watch it and like break down film and stuff, but just initial while you were at the game, what were your thoughts?
I think I was amazed at live watching how defenses react to Jamar Chase, like seeing everything and just like how there's so much pool to him. It's almost like in the NBA, they talk about like how really good shooters like Steph Curry have gravity. I'm actually going to write an article about this and the gravity of a great wide receiver. But yeah, live, I was like, oh my God, like the safety is always going to be on the hash or even further towards him if he's by himself. And they almost always try to just have somebody over top of him because they're like, this guy's going to ruin our game. I was like watching, I was like, oh my God, this is like Randy Moss Megatron type treatment for him. But I'm not saying he's that good. I'm just saying like that's what it felt like, where it's like
I'll say it. I'll say it. You don't have to, Mike. I'll do it.
I think I picked 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. So maybe we should dial it back just a little bit.
Nah.
I was scrolling through Twitter this morning, and I did see the one picture where the Dolphins brought over 4 defensive backs to Jamar's side of the field, and coincidentally, that was this play where T. Higgins broke that. Was it? I can't remember the yardage on it. It was 50 plus yards on
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the idea there is just like they put their best corner on T like the entire game, and then they almost just like always had somebody over top and underneath on Jamar. So almost like a double on Jamar every play, and we just got our best guy on T. And the great part about having a T Higgins is like, oh yeah, that dude's still like a top 12 wide receiver. You can just take your best corner to the woodshed like you did on that play, go for 120 yards, a touchdown. I felt bad for Howard. I was like, oh man, I really wish this, he's really like, man, I wish I had safety help. I can't take this guy. But that's the cool thing. It's like, yeah, like Steph Curry has some other shooters that are really good. So it's like T is basically like the other guy that benefits from what Jamar Chase is able to pull in.
I mean, it was pretty magnificent. And I think Boogered Up just said like he's like a magnet. It's true. He is a magnet. He pulls everyone to his side of the field. He gets all the attention. And okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like
one guy. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, it's like people are like, why isn't Jamar Chase going for 100 yards every game? He still went for 81 yards despite pulling all this coverage. So it's like, yeah, he's still doing great. He's not going for 200 yards because the defense is like, we will not allow that to happen.
And I'll tell you one guy I'm really happy for is Tyler Boyd, because man, how many years did he have to do it? Not to knock on other guys, but it felt like TV just had to do it on his own. And now he's got 2 wonderful wide receivers with him, and he's just feasting on it right now. And it's awesome to see. He's being rewarded for his patience and loyalty to Cincinnati. So happy for TB.
He's still a heck of a player too. I mean,
phenomenal.
I was talking so much about T, but it's like, yeah, Tyler's doing great with all this pool that Jamar has as well. This is like the benefit of having this wide receiver trio. It's like, what's better, elite wide receivers or the offensive line? And even as an offensive line guy, I'm like, I think it is the receivers after watching like what the Bengals can do.
So before we kind of get more into analytics and film breakdown here, we do have our first question of the show from Taylor, and this one is for you, Mike. This might give you remember the game.
So shout out whoever sat next to me, this mom, her husband kept buying her beer and she just kept handing it to me. So I had like 5 tall boys from her. And then, I drank before the game at Bengal Jim's tailgate. I remember also tweeting at one point, I was just like, I'm pretty drunk. I knew I was like, because I had all those, I think, before halftime. At halftime, right before halftime, actually, right when the Dolphins scored, and I knew there'd be some time, I ran down, and there was no line for Dippin' Dots, and I got so excited. I got Dippin' Dots, I went back up, and I was like, I'm pretty drunk to be this excited about Dippin' Dots,
Hey, listen, you're a man after my own heart, because I think that's one of the best things that was ever invented is Dippin' Dots. I would go to an amusement park just for the Dippin' Dots.
I don't think there can ever be enough excitement about Dippin' Dots. I don't care what age you are.
Nope. 100% no.
Got Uday Joe in here. Joe, good morning. How you doing, man?
Hey,
So Brad could chase the whole game, pick your poison with these weapons. Yeah, I mean, just like Burrow said, I think that was before the season even started. He said, if you guys want a single cover them, best of luck to you.
Yep. Godspeed.
Got one more question here from Joe. What's your thoughts on the run game inefficiencies? Mixon didn't look right, or the O-line, or bad luck?
Yeah, I mean, I've said my theory on this a few times. I think it's like 3-part. Mixon, I think we forget sometimes that Mixon was injured week 1. He left the game with an ankle injury. Then week 2, he left the game with an ankle injury. Week 3, he didn't finish the game with an ankle injury. So I'm like, I think there's something going on there. And it's not his burst, because I was watching back and I was like, yeah, he could still like kind of move and make guys miss that way. He made like one guy miss as he sprinted around the backfield, but it's his balance. It feels like he's just falling over no matter what. His balance has never been awesome, but like now it's like he squeezes through the line and he just trips over himself and falls down. It's like, man. But I think that'll get better with rest. And then the offensive line itself, when they lose, they seem to lose badly. like a guy falls down, then there's just a defender running right at him, and yeah, he's not making them miss as much as he used to. And then the last part is just, I think they came into the season, the coaching staff, with a plan like, we're going to do this, like wide zone type stuff. And I understood. I was like, yeah, maybe it'll be all right. And then you watch them play the first game, and you're like, oh no, it's not this. They're better at other things, so they're trying to like change it up. But you can't just drastically. It's not like Madden where you can just go like, we'll just never call that play again. We'll just call these plays, because they practice those plays all the time, so they have to run them a little bit while they're trying to get the new stuff in.
We got Meg in here as well.
Hi.
Morning, Meg. She said, what do you think about Chase being double teamed as twice more? Do you think, man, I can't read this morning. Do you think opponents will do the same, and what should the Bengals do?
I mean, I think opponents will probably treat Jamar Chase like that for the most part. I mean, you just see what happens when you don't with the Chiefs game. The first Chiefs game, it's like, yeah, he could completely kill you. Or when the Ravens just tried to put Marlon Humphrey on him and live that way, and he killed them. So I think they're going to give him a lot of respect. Really, what you got to do, I think we talk so much about like, well, how do you get Jamar Chase going? It's like, to me, I'm almost like, do you care? Because like, you're winning, you're scoring, T's doing awesome, Tyler Boyd's doing awesome. Eventually, maybe during a game, they'll fall off of doing that because these guys are killing them so much. So I think, yeah, you probably scheme up like some screens and other stuff just to keep Chase happy and in the game, and maybe some other things just to get him a little bit of space. He's a really good yards after catch guy. So get him the ball in space, even if it's behind the line or within 5 yards on the move, and let him do his thing. But for like deep shots and stuff, if they're really going to sell out and ruin their defense to prevent that, you just let them do it, to me.
Yeah. I think I just want to throw this out here really quick, because I don't think we're going to talk about it. But one of my favorite things is when there's smack talk before a game and you can't back it up. So I saw Tyreek Hill. We've all seen the interview, but I saw on Pat McAfee's show, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Chuck Pagano was on there. Did you see that? And Tyreek Hill was on there. And Chuck, it brought up the video of Tyreek talking about Eli Apple. And he asked him, so what's that about, dude? Like, why would you say that? Tyreek mentioned, well, this started last year. Don't worry about it. And Chuck said, well, as long as you back it up, you got to back it up. And so I just absolutely adore the fact. I don't know what you saw as far as what Eli Apple was doing in order to keep Tyreek in check, but I would love to hear it. But it was pretty fabulous.
I feel like it's not the exciting answer that they didn't really match up that often. But when they did, he did well. You know, like it wasn't like he was getting killed and the ball was being thrown, but they just didn't really have that matchup happen because they know Chidobe Uzie is like their guy. And Tyreek did have a good game. I think he's like 150 yards or something. It's like, yeah, he got his team lost, but you know, he moves so weird just to make this completely different, but I almost compare him to like an RC car with the way that he just speeds up so fast and then can come to a complete stop and just change direction, go the other way. So he's tough, but didn't do anything against Apple, so he didn't back it up, even though the Bengals didn't really let him. He didn't take advantage when it was there because he had a few matchups. It's just, it's not like they went at each other the whole game and Eli just shut him down. It's just, yeah, he did well in the matchups they had, but you know, I think what he's angry about is probably that A, the Bengals beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and then B, Tyreek Hill kind of lost that to Eli Apple on the goal line. What was that? Right before halftime. It was one-on-one, Tyreek Hill and Eli Apple, and Apple brought him down short of it and stopped the touchdown. So,
well, that and then was it Bates that shared the story that Eli bought Tyreek and his family tickets to go to the Super Bowl?
I do think Eli's probably a pretty big trash talker based off his Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I always like to find the guys who leave their mouthpiece hanging out because I'm like, yeah, that guy talks trash. You know? He's not.
I've never thought to look at that before, but yeah.
Oh no, that's going to change. That's going to change my perspective on a lot of things now. Watching games.
Corners do it all the time. I've seen, I don't know, I've never heard anybody talk about it, but I have seen Pratt's dangling a lot. I don't know if that's communication type thing or if he's also a bit of a trash talker, but you know, I just look for that thing hanging down. I'm like, yeah.
I feel like Jermaine Pratt's probably a trash talker a little bit. I could definitely see that.
I wouldn't be shocked. We need him on mic to be mic'd for a game now. Now I need that. So do you want to go ahead and what I was so excited about with you, Mike, to sit down and talk to you is I just love, I look forward to Twitter after a game because I look at all your posts and watch your breakdowns and I learn stuff. And then also I see stuff that I didn't see before. So what do you say we get into it? And you can tell me, where do you want to start? We've got offensive line to talk about. We got some defense to talk about, play calling. Where do you want to go?
I am a caricature of myself, and we will start with offensive line.
Hell yeah. So let's start with, before we start breaking things down, just tell me, how would you rate in general the offensive line through week 4, and have they progressed? What's the deal?
Yeah, man, it had to be I don't think it was a complete F in week 1 and 2, but it really did feel like they didn't play that well together, and it's getting better. So it's probably around where I would a C-. It's not exactly where I want it to be yet, but it's getting there, especially in the run game. It's not there. That's hopefully that just keeps getting more figured out. But I think the pass protection stuff is getting better, and that is what's more important in this league and for this team. So I got a C- so far, but I think it's trending upwards. Most of the guys, I'm excited for where they're going. I will say Lyle Collins does have me a little bit nervous that this isn't rust and this is a back injury type thing. And I'm I don't know if this is going to get better.
Yeah.
Hopefully this little mini bye week obviously it's not going to be 100%, throughout the season, but hopefully it just gives them a little extra time to maybe get past it a little bit.
Yeah. I think the offensive line will become top 5 by the end of the season. That's bold.
I love it.
I'd love it. Yeah. Oh man, if I could go through Bengals games and only clip awesome plays, that'd be awesome.
Well, let's go ahead and start with some of the plays. So the first video you sent me is about OL excitement.
Oh yeah. This is when they pushed Mixon into the end zone, and they just I just loved how excited they were after that happened. Credit to Mixon for staying on his feet, but really those are kind of offensive line touchdowns.
It was the most intense crowd surfing that I've ever seen in my life. Almost. It felt like a mosh pit.
I think of it kind of like a tug of war, but pushing whatever. But Mixon's kind of the guy in the middle. It's just
Yeah, let's see it. Let's check it out really quick and see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just watch 64 Ted Karras. So the fist pump. It was the end of a 80s movie there.
I love Ted's. I love his spirit, and I get more. The more we get into who he is with him getting mic'd up and stuff like that, I just love him more and more.
He seems so much like a center because he's the leader. He's the charismatic guy in the middle, and he's the one that's the most excited when these things go right and all these type of things. So the whole thing. And other guys were raising their arms. I think Collins was running at Mixon, but the Ted Karras fist pump is what really got me. I was yeah, that's so cool, man. I love this.
like you said, with the 80s type movie, we just needed the jump freeze frame.
it was yeah.
Can you do that? I need that.
I did
neon color shooting out. Yeah.
I did the 2005 movie where I did the Transformers in the end, or what I've done with the kick, just cutting the black type thing. So yeah, now I'll do an 80s, the offensive line, just hit the music right after that.
I love it. So let's talk about offensive line communication. So let's see what you sent here. What's going on?
Yeah, so this is tough to do, especially for new guys, because the right guard here, Kappa, has to knock that guy over. Karras has to pick him up. These are stunts, twists. This is one of the parts of communication with the offensive line. So you can see Kappa gets a really good throw him over and then picks up the guy that comes around. And love that Karras at the end throws that guy down onto the ground and lays on top of him too. So he's just yeah, you're not making a play today. So he puts him into the ground. Kappa does a great job of communicating here, take this guy, I'm going to take that guy. And it's an incomplete pass, but it keeps Burrow clean.
happens so fast too. Look how fast that all develops. But
Oh man, when I played in high school, which is nothing, I thought things were happening fast. You think of the NFL, it's like, oh man, I don't even think it's like I'm too small to play in the NFL. I think I'm too slow in my mind to be like, what just happened? I'm getting run over.
it seems like that's what you hear more often than not when guys go transition from college to the NFL is the speed, like is what takes the most adjusting to, like slowing the game down. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Jonah here a little bit. Let's see what you see here. What's Jonah doing?
So the first 2 weeks, it was kind of like a slow start, disappointing. Maybe that's because he didn't play in preseason, all that type of things. But here's against Melvin Ingram, who I think is their best pass rusher, and he's got really good, quick feet to get out to him, and then he keeps his hands patient. Ingram's trying all these different things to get him to throw his hands out so he can chop them down or get past them, and he just keeps waiting, and then when Ingram finally throws his stuff out, he grabs onto him and. I don't know. I was impressed with Jonah in pass protection this week, and I thought he might have been the best player in pass protection last week. So I'm like, he's kind of getting back to where I would like him to be. He did a good job against Carl Lawson, does a good job against Melvin Ingram. So overall, I'm like, okay, so if he can get back to being that solid, pretty good left tackle, and the interior is doing a good job, like this, having just like a one type of problem on one side, that makes it so much easier to scheme around and everything, because when it was like the Cowboys game and Jonah and Collins are getting beat, or the Steelers game where they're both getting beat, you're just kind of screwed because you're like, well, how do we could chip one side, we could chip both sides, but now we're kind of wasting our offense. So getting one guy that can play by himself in space, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Rifle over Baker.
That's a tough one, Dale.
There's nothing better.
Dude.
I'd say just get a quarter and flip it.
I just feel like I could find, I don't know. Is Trevor Lawrence out there?
Oh, good question here from Dale.
Sorry. Why is it when we think the line played well, PFF disagrees? Sorry to take that. I've read it and I just started responding. And I was like, oh yeah, people are probably just listening. I don't love the way PFF always grades the offensive line and everything. I think some people that don't love the offensive line just kind of go like, yeah, their offensive line, defensive lines are great. And then I watch them like, it doesn't really match up all the time. So I don't know. They grade it. What they do is they don't factor in the opponent at all. They don't factor in the difficulty of these assignments at all. They just factor, was this a good or a bad play? And they don't always get that right either. But it's like, yeah, if Jonah does a good job against Melvin Ingram, that's better than like if a guy has help the entire game and he does a good job against, I don't know, like Tristan Hill or something that's like in the interior. It's just like he's a guy, he's not some really good pass rusher. So I don't think they factor in some of the outside stuff enough, and I think that's a little bit of why. And then also we're going to get to it, but Burrow is helping the offensive line more now. So it does seem like they're playing even better than they probably are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Joe kind of brings us up here a little bit. It says, I think Joe has accountability in holding the ball too long. The first 2 weeks, he did so much better in checking down Thursday.
Yeah. And teams are like, they're not letting him try to get outside the pocket as much. They're trying to contain that more because he was killing teams on that last year. So I think that was a little bit of a wake up call in weeks 1 and 2. It's like, crap, they're treating me like they've actually, watched and trying to do everything to stop me. So now he's just staying in there, take what the defense gives him type stuff. And it's still exciting. You say that and it sounds like it's Jimmy Garoppolo back there, but he still threw a 60-yard bomb to T. Higgins. So I'm cool.
Thank you. Yeah, and one of my things for this year when we were talking about the season is not only like teams are coming for us because we're not sneaking up on anybody, it's also they have a year of film on us of what we're actually going to do, defense and offense. They have a year of film on Chase, on Burrow, all of that. Really, the only thing that's new to us is the offensive line. But I from what it looks to me, we haven't changed much up in terms of how we're playing the game. So, they are going to change up how they deal with us, I think, a little bit. But that segues perfectly into your next video, which is about Burrow and the offensive line. So what is it you're seeing here?
Burrow making two guys miss in the backfield. It's really cool that this was a twist that didn't get passed off too well. And So a guy comes free and he just steps up through, makes them both miss. They're both right there. And then that's just something you kind of forget when you're like watching the game live, because he didn't get sacked, didn't really get hit until he scrambled. But it's like, yeah, if he goes down, we're all like, oh, this offensive line, it's no better than it is. But then he makes them look better than they are with actually making the guys miss in the backfield. And now you're like, you kind of forget about it because it didn't really matter. So the losses are mattering less now. And the offensive line, to me, is playing better.
Awesome. I don't think Burrow gets talked about a lot for how elusive he is, but there's times where I think for sure he's down, and it's like, does he just like bathe in petroleum jelly before he hits the field? Like he just like he just gets out of everything. He's slippery as hell, so crazy.
Like I said, I just let Joe grade them. He said it was the most time he's back there since he's been in the league. Joe graded them PFF.
Yeah, I thought they played well. I didn't think it was a bad performance. It's not perfect. It's not even where I think it should be with this group, but it is like, yeah, this is better than I did in the playoffs and pretty much last year.
Yeah.
Meg said, I used to think QBR was a good stat to look at to determine the QB's play. Now, since we got Burrow, I'm starting to think that it's a bad stat and complete percentage is better to look at.
To me, I'm not like the biggest stat type. I love watching more and making my own opinions that way. But with stats, I think you just have to take a lot of them into account. It's like, because if he has a bad EPA per play or QBR or whatever, but he's got great passer rating and touchdowns and completion percentage and yards per attempt things, it's like, well, there's probably, some middle ground here that he's not bad and maybe he's not the best in the league right now, but it's like, it's not just one stat. To me, I like to look at quite a few if I'm going to look at them, and you kind of have to because there are 32 teams and I'm not watching every game.
Stats don't have context. There's no context with stats. So, yeah.
And then it's actually Derek talking on Bengals and Brews this morning. He said, is there any truth to Mixon showing his hand in the run plays? I heard that, but watching the game back, I couldn't see it. I also don't have all 22. So
somewhat. I do think it's like a subconscious thing. And I think it's more later in games. And this was only true this week, though, because when I went back and I looked up, I didn't watch the games, but I looked up my own clips for like play action stuff. And the tipping is that he's kind of like standing straight up on pass plays. And then on run plays, he's down with his hands on his knees. And in that game, it was pretty true that he was getting down on his knees for the run play and he was standing straight up on pass plays. A few plays he didn't. It wasn't like 100% type thing. And this is just like something that's probably subconscious. Julio Jones used to always tighten his gloves on pass plays because he'd be like, I could be getting the ball here. And I remember somebody talking about that. And I was like, oh yeah, that just makes sense because he's probably on run plays. He doesn't really care. But on pass plays, he's like, you got to make sure these things don't fall off. So it's just something.
To self, I want to play poker with Julio Jones.
So I don't think it was true as much in the first 3 weeks, but it was true this week. I did find plenty of plays in play action where he's got hands on knees down and he just goes and fakes and whatnot. But I think somebody should probably tell him.
Or it could be, hear me out on this one. This might be a good conspiracy theory for you, Whitney. Could be a second half setup. Maybe he's trying to play mind games with people now. And then second half, he switches it up.
That'd be awesome.
Mixon doing Jedi mind tricks, noted. I have a note. All right, so what do you say about, let's talk about the fact that the defense was out without DJ Reader this week. How overall do you think they did? And then let's talk about some of their plays that you sent us.
Yeah, thought it was pretty good, especially in the pass game. They got pass rush from guys that weren't contributing as much. I even think it was later in the game that this really started showing up, but I wrote a whole article about it's like Teron Armstead versus Trey Hendrickson. This is like awesome on awesome battle of the Titans. And Teron took the lead early, but late in the game, he was getting Teron with his bull run, able to power through him and really affect Teddy. So I thought they played better than I thought they would, to be honest, because I was like, I just love DJ Reader. I'm like, I do think the nose tackle, they just kind of I was surprised they just kind of did the same defense. They just put Tupou there, and I was like, oh, that's a rough spot for Tupou, but go Josh. And he did pretty well. But overall, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good performance without DJ. So if they can keep that up, I'm more worried when they face good running attacks like the Ravens and the Browns. But I guess the Dolphins held up.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, what do you think about going ahead and bringing Gabb, and she can hang out with us while we're talking plays, don't you think?
Yeah, might as well. We can get her in here for picks as well. So our other guest for today is Gabb Goudy. I knew I was going to trip up. I've been practicing it all morning. Hate myself. Gabb Goudy, huge Cleveland sports fan. I'm sure you've probably seen her on Twitter. She's the host for FanDuel's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, which is on Tuesdays, or every Tuesday at 7. So let's get her in here.
Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. Howdy.
Hey.
What's up, girl? We're talking with Sans here. He is breaking down some plays with us, and I know that's your jam too. So like I think let's go ahead and talk about, you've got Wilson, I believe, is like our first clip. So let's go ahead and add that, Mike, and let us know what you're seeing here.
Okay, this is the play where he makes a tackle for loss on 3rd and 1. And first, it's also cool what BJ Hill 92 does, because he just dominates his offensive linemen. But they do such a good job of taking all the offensive linemen and throwing them in the dirt. And then Wilson just gets over the top, and he takes them high, because usually you want to tackle guys low, but then they fall forward, if you think about that. So he takes him high and drives him backwards because it's a short yardage type situation. Just super, I don't know. I thought it was a good feat of strength, good showing of Wilson's linebacker play there.
I'm in love with Logan Wilson, and I want the world to know it. I get, like, some of his plays get me so run through a brick wall mode. It's unreal. I love how that kid plays. And then, like, you just brought up BJ Hill, so let's go ahead and show that too while we're at it.
So the BJ Hill play, he kind of does like what I love what DJ Reader does, and he just takes that guy and he just runs him back into the running back, and he's just like, which way are you going to go? And throws him off that way and tries to make the tackle. That's just called playing 2 gaps. So I love it. I don't even know if he makes the tackle there or whoever does, but he completely dominates his guy and drives him back into the running back.
Yeah. So, yeah, super impressive. BJ Hill, you know, we've had some really good over the last like 2 seasons in particular, some really great free agent pickups. That was a surprise one. If you remember, the very last minute, it was Price for Hill. So couldn't have worked out better, I don't think.
This might be my new favorite comment right here.
Oh my God. I have a Andy Dalton story, a funny one. If you guys,
I want to hear it.
It's just like, it's not him doing anything in like anywhere. It's just a very specific memory of Baker Mayfield and Andy Dalton that I'll never forget. And it's just like very peak Andy Dalton, Baker Mayfield. Maybe like 3 years ago, last game of the season, they threw back-to-back field length interceptions. And I said, you know what? I cannot watch either of these ever again. So.
I mean, but that's pure entertainment. It's
right.
Pure entertainment.
But like, it's like, here we go.
How far these 2 franchises have come.
Right. Yeah. Field length picks. I was like, yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of a more perfect ending to the game than that.
Who was it earlier in the chat that's trying to decide on those 2 in fantasy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Baker and Dalton. Who do they go with, Gabby?
I don't know. Probably you probably go with Andy Dalton. Oh my God. I don't know. Baker Mayfield has like no passing yards. His wide receivers are talking shit about him.
It's a trend.
I don't know. Yeah.
But isn't there a lot of people out for the Saints? We're going to talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. But I want you to be thinking about that, because I think I'm leaning Dalton too. But anyway.
I told him to go find somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there anybody else?
Hit the waiver wire. Yeah, for sure. That's a waiver moment.
Derek did say it's a 2-quarterback, 12-team league, so that's probably why.
Oh, God. All right, so let's move on to Zach Carter. Meg says hi, Gabb.
Oh, hey.
So Zach Carter here. Let's see what's going on.
rookie 3rd-round pick. He does defensive line awesome. Yeah, lock him out, peek, find the running back, and then shed the block and make the tackle. That's just textbook stuff. So he just takes this guy, controls him the whole time. The guy has no impact on the play, and he goes and makes the tackle. I think this is what you want to see from a rookie 3rd-round pick is these type of plays. Pass rushing will get there, but if he can do this stuff in the run game, he'll find his way onto the field.
Yeah. That makes me think of somebody else too who hasn't gotten a lot of play time but who's done some really cool stuff, and that's Gunter.
Oh yeah, the block field goal. I mean, that was awesome.
Those are the types of plays though too that that gets you some street cred, I think, right?
No matter what, yeah. I remember when I played in middle school, we had like the block punt drill, and that thing hurt so much because I blocked one because you got a soda if you could block it. So I went past, I was able to block one, and my hand stung for like the next hour, and that was just like a coach kicking it. I can't imagine blocking a field goal from like a professional and be like, jeez.
Yeah, I hope Gunter got a soda for that. I really do. I'm gonna send him a soda. Send that man a soda. Oh, it was either them or Mitch.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's getting worse.
it is getting worse. I'm so sorry. Thoughts and prayers.
I mean, they are playing the Jets. I mean, I can't say much about the Jets, but they are playing the Jets. So, I mean,
That's true.
Score.
There has been a lot of scoring on the Jets over the course of the season so far. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a lot.
They ranked the vaunted 32nd ranked defense, so it's out of 32.
Are you sure we didn't add a few teams in the off season? It really is the last place, isn't it? All right. So Hubbard is another guy that I was screaming Logan Wilson's name a lot during Thursday's game. I was screaming Hubbard's name a lot. So let's see what that sounded probably a little bad, but let's check this out.
Hubbard was awesome. He's probably the best player on the defense, to be honest, or him or Bell. But here they blitz, and Hubbard goes inside and makes that tackle. And I should have clipped it, but he gets up and does the whole flexing type thing. I don't know. These guys get so excited for these tackles for loss and stuff. I like to see the excitement. So yeah, going inside on him, getting through, making the tackle. Great job. I think he makes a tackle on the offensive line's dead corpse as he tried to find him. So yeah. Oh, somebody else, but yeah.
So awesome. I also love how Hubbard looks like straight out of the Abercrombie ad. He was probably I don't know. I could see him being the guy that wears the cardi or the sweater with the two sleeves wrapped over here, very, I don't know. There's something about him that doesn't add up in my head. And then I see him hit the football field and he's a beast. Just an absolute animal.
You've lost me, but
I don't know, man. He looks like the good boy in high school. I don't know. He doesn't look like he should be able to do that. Whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. Shut up, guys. Shut up.
That's funny.
All right. So defense overall, yeah, they're doing a good job, and I was very worried about them without Reader. So
the Dolphins' offense is good. They scored 3.5 points against the Ravens. So being able to do that against them, awesome. The pass defense is definitely holding up. Run defense, like I said, worried against the Ravens and Browns, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Especially because they've never done well against the Browns run game.
Well, I mean, listen, they don't have Baker Mayfield anymore, so maybe the Bengals will beat the Browns. Who's to say? Because I feel like
the Panthers, because Baker
right,
400 yards.
Are you trying to say that you think Baker had our number? It was Baker that had our number.
No, but for some reason, it always ends up that way.
He always brought his A game. He played phenomenal football against us. And I don't know if it was just Gabby. I'm sure you've probably seen this, but the Baker Mayfield cycle. Yep. It seemed like it always freaking hit us.
Yep. It was always right after someone got injured or someone got hurt or left. Odell twice. So
yeah, that was last year. The Odell game. I was like, God dang it. I guess I think that came out on like a Tuesday. It's like, son of a bitch, we're going to get a game Baker.
And you did? Oh God, of course.
I think,
But
No,
they
at
made
a
for
time.
entertaining games, though. I mean, they've been shootouts.
yeah, I think Donovan Peoples-Jones probably has like 2 100-yard games in his career, and they're both against the Bengals.
Against the Bengals, yes.
You guys, I don't
Damn.
want to talk about this.
I'm sorry.
This sucks. Let's go back to the Bengals. I'm just teasing. I have trauma. I still have trauma from.
It's okay. I have
last
trauma
week's games.
from him in total, so I get it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Meg said she's about to head out wearing my Jamar Chase, flipping his fingers at to Minka Fitzpatrick jersey. Let's see you, Meg. Thanks for joining us this morning.
I wonder if anybody's gotten that tattooed on themselves.
Oh, I'm sure somebody has.
Oh, funny you should mention it. Hold on, just kidding.
No.
I did not.
That'd be
all
a
right,
lot
so-
for an arm. That'd be a lot for an arm tattoo. I feel like
But
there's a lot going on here.
Or maybe I just got it in miniature. You don't know.
Props to the tattoo artist if you could do all that. It's a mini.
Right. All right. So one of the things that fans have talked about a little bit, or at least I've noticed on Twitter, is play calling. So overall, how do you feel like the play calling is going? Because that's what we're going to dive into.
Oh, man. It's so hit or miss. I put a bunch of good clips in, but I'm just like, oh my God, how do you go for another 4th and 1 toss play? Just the optics of that not working after last week's being terrible. It's like, what are you doing? And then running into the goal line every time they got down there, at least early in the game. Just a lot of like, this needs to be better, but I think fans are so down on it that I'm like, there's still good stuff here. It's not like he's just like doing whatever. He's not just on Madden calling like slant to Jamar Chase, go score a touchdown.
This isn't Madden. You're right. So I don't know what any of this stuff means. There's a video called Hiccup Cop.
Hiccup is the play call. Cop is the route. Cop is just corner
Right.
post. Coaches are really creative with these names. Corner post is Cop.
I could not wait to have that explained to me. So let's look at what that actually looks like.
So it's Boyd doing the cop route, the corner post type thing, kills the corner that starts on him, and then pushes vertical into the safety, fakes to the outside, the corner, and then goes to the post. The concept's called Hiccup. It's when you run that fake a lot and you roll to your right, a lot of times it's a flood, which is 3 different receivers at different levels to that side. So Boyd is faking that and then going the other way. I think that's a good creative call. Not that, look, everything in the NFL is stolen. So this is stolen from somebody, and that's okay because they just executed it.
Yeah, it's all about the execution at the end of the day, right? Isn't it like a legend that Lombardi back in the day had like the smallest playbook, and he's like, I'll show you the playbook if you want to see it because you just have to beat us. Like
it's like the was it Bruce Lee quote where he's like, the guy that practiced one move 1,000 times versus 1,000 moves one time. So if you just execute your plays and they can't stop you, then it's I don't know. A lot of times people know what's coming. It's just that you're better.
Yeah. And then so creative stick.
Stick is not a creative play. It's really common, but and Hayden Hurst is a beast on this one.
Thank you. Yes,
But they jet motion into it, so that flat route comes while he's on the run, so that he gets that corner to really respect it more. And then Hayden Hurst, I think he said he heard the crowd screaming as he was going. I just feel like that's like a gladiator type moment where it's like, I got to keep going. The fans want. He just runs through all these guys. Took like 6 of them.
I know. His excitement after that play too, and then him saying like he found a home, and oh God.
I'm also so glad that he's just running hard. He had this weird thing in Atlanta where he tried to hurdle guys all the time. I haven't seen that happen yet. It didn't work any of the times he tried it, but it was like 4 times he tried it. He fumbled on 2 of them. It's like, what are you doing, man?
We have a trick play.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure we all remember.
yeah, maybe.
But yeah, creative. I don't know. Like this is back-to-back weeks where they had a trick play that should have worked. The one Jamar lost in the lights, but he finds this one. Offense was kind of stalled there. I remember being upset in the stands while I was drinking. I was like, "Come on, move!" And then they run that, and I was like, I was just like drunk cheering. You know? But yeah, looking back, it's like, yeah, creative play. They got Boyd the ball. I don't think Boyd's ever thrown a pass, so unleash the secret weapon on Thursday Night Football that he can throw the ball a little bit.
I think my favorite part about that play was I had somebody that was complaining about the play calling like right before that, and it's like, this is the most unimaginative play calling I've ever seen, and then boom, Tyler Boyd with a pass, and it's just like that might go on Bengals fan counseling,
right? And we're our coaching staff listening to the broadcast in real time, because also right before that, the guys on the TV were like, Tyler Boyd has been silent all game. Let's see if they can get him involved in the game. And he's like passed. And then didn't he have like a catch after that? And then like his touchdown or whatever. It was kind of perfect. I'm
Broadcasters saying the opposite thing and then it happening is one of my favorite trends. I don't know if there's like a YouTube cut up of like a whole bunch of broadcasters like, this kicker, he's never missed. Classic. Always misses right after that.
Right. I don't know, but get on it. You should make that video. So let's see. Is there red zone design? Let's talk about the red zone here a little bit.
This is to score the touchdown, put the game out of reach, but they sneak Caden Hurst across the other way after faking play action behind the line too. So it's hard to find him. Gets out. Easy way to gain 2 yards and score the touchdown. I don't know why they saved it for this moment, but they did need it. So seeing them be able to score on that, awesome. And it's creative. You know, it's good play calling, and I think the fans get so upset because there are moments where it's just like they run Mixon into the back of his offensive line 3 times in a row and then kick the field goal. But it's there. It just needs to be a little bit, like the light bulb's half turned in, just the rest of the way. It's not completely like terrible type stuff. I think it's fine. I think it's just inconsistent.
Yeah. I mean, we struggled a lot with the red zone last year, and I think Caden Hurst is one of the things that we were hoping he would be an extra target, give us more options back there. And so I loved it for that reason, just to see him in the end zone for a red zone play.
He deserved it after that run where he carried like 6 Dolphins.
That's true. That's very true. All right, so thanks for breaking all that down for us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike.
Oh, speed run.
So should we move into our next segment here, Whit, where we do our picks for the week?
I think so. Let's talk about predicting some games, guys. Go ahead, Tyler. What are we picking first? I got some crazy picks for this week, and I can't wait to hear your guys.
All right, we're switching things up a little bit. We're going forward. We're just going to do a solid 5 games for this show. Since we got our first London game, which just kicked off here about 19 minutes ago, we're going to start things off with Vikings at Saints at Tottenham Hotspur's Stadium in London. So, Whit, why don't you get us started? Oh, and standing wise, currently I'm in first at 4-5 at a outstanding 4-5. Whit, you're 3-6, and our guests are 2-7. They finally got off the schneid.
Oh my gosh!
So
that's a lot of pressure.
great start to the season. So.
Well, I mean, it's been chaos. So.
God.
Gabb, we just get to be listed as guests from now on with everybody else. I think like as like a conglomerate, so we have to work together.
Raise that win percentage, guys.
Dude,
we got it.
At least they won't know. At least they won't know if I go like 0-5 today.
Right?
Like, yeah, some guest went 0-5.
Don't know who.
I will tweet it. I will know. I have not looked at the game standing. Have any of you guys looked to see what's going on in London yet?
Yeah.
Or are we all unspoiled?
I've been watching.
Doing something.
Should we know? Should I pick without knowing, or should I have Gabb bring us up to?
No, you just pick. You don't know what's going on yet. It's just the game hasn't even started yet.
I can see the TV reflection off Gabby's one picture back there. So I'm like looking like, has anybody scored yet?
Mike, you go first. I want Mike to go first.
I'm going against Andy Dalton and picking the Vikings because the Saints are beat up and the Vikings are the better team anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it simple too. Vikings. Although
Yeah, I'm
Andy
going
has
Vikings.
experience in London, Vikings. It's probably going to be a clean sweep.
So before this game started, I was kind of like wanting to go Saints just because I think Andy Dalton is a weird, like, I like to spoil games for people of my first game out, like, kind of vibe, but they do have a lot of injuries. And then based on how Gabb just said that, like, yeah, I'm going Vikings. I'm going Vikings. She knows stuff I don't know.
I'm hoping for what happened last time when Cousins and Dalton faced in London and we get a tie.
Oh my God. Ugh.
I was
Come
at
on.
that game. I traveled halfway around the world to go watch
You're a tie.
Oh my God.
It was absolutely worth it though. The experience that week was phenomenal. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
London is awesome.
It's very awesome. And if anybody ever gets a chance, take it because it is a good time.
I don't know. The Saints are moving the ball right now, so
As Jameis Winston said for this game, pain, just pain everywhere.
In my defense, I do think the Saints have a chance.
The London games always something weird happens. So that's why I was sort of tempted to go Saints, but yeah, I'm just
and they're playing like super early. Their sleep schedule's messed up.
Cousins is a weird guy when his
tired.
sleep schedule gets messed up, you know?
Yeah, he's very much a dad, you know? He just needs it all to be the same.
This is lawn mowing time. What am I doing playing football?
Very much a dad.
All right, our next game we're going to talk about is Buffalo at Baltimore.
Oh.
So, Mike, why don't you get us started on that one?
That feels much more exciting to me.
Maybe just a little.
I didn't even think about these. I saw Whitney send them, and I was just like, oh, I'll just answer them live. Buffalo. Just shooting from the hip. I'm going for the Bengals, best friends of New York. Partners in crime. Go Buffalo. Take down the Ravens. Get the Bengals back in a chance for the division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. It pains me to do this for all of us involved, but I'm going with the Ravens.
No.
Lamar Jackson is on his MVP reign. It's in Baltimore, and it's going to be nasty, and it's going to be raining, and they're going to run the ball a lot, and that's all I got. It's going to be fun.
I don't know. I feel like the Bengals did the Bills a solid, and they're going to do us a solid this week. So, right? A little reciprocal.
Yeah, we scratched their back. They better help.
I almost said that exact same thing. But I think, in all honesty, I think it's going to be like a hard-fought game. I think, I could make a case for either. I think it's pretty evenly matched. And I agree, Lamar is on a tear right now, but I think the Bills are just like this much better. So I'm going to give it to the Bills.
Of all the people to pick the Baltimore Ravens, Gabby had to do it.
Listen, I like the Ravens. I do a lot, and
Really?
I hate that. Yeah,
Okay. I thought you maybe one of those Browns fans that still hold the Art Modell grudge.
Well, I do. Like, I hate him a lot, but I like Lamar. I like players that they have on the team. It just sucks that they are the Ravens.
And fair. I'm going to go Bills in this one. Bills had a rough game against the Dolphins last week. I think they're going to come out pissed off. And I think they got a little bit of extra jolt of energy with the Bengals beating the Dolphins on Thursday night. I do think it's going to be a phenomenal game. Like Gabby said, Lamar Jackson's playing lights out football right now. He's in a contract year, and he wants to get that bag this offseason. So, but I do think the Bills get a little bit of a spark from Thursday night's results, as well as just, after the disappointment of last week. So I'm going Buffalo here.
What are we doing that this is a 1:00 game? This is like game of the week.
Right. Well, I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are playing.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So that one takes
what's Monday
over,
night?
I guess.
What's Monday night? Like Jets Steelers or something? I don't know.
Oh, God. Should we do that
Monday
game
night
next?
is. I don't know what Monday night is.
Look it up, Gabb.
I thought it's not Denver at Las Vegas, is it?
Monday night is Rams 49ers. That's actually fine.
Okay. Kind of bad game. But anyways, game 3 on our slate. Gabby, you'll get to start us on this one because you're going to be most familiar with it, and we're probably just going to piggyback off you. But Cleveland at Atlanta.
We're going with the Browns. If they lose to the Falcons, I'm not watching another game for like 2 weeks. So we're going with the Browns. Myles Garrett's not playing. Jadeveon Clowney's not playing. The defense is going to be a little weak, so they're probably going to score some points. So hopefully we can score a few more. So that's all I got.
Oh God, I'm going Falcons. Sorry. I went back and forth, but yeah, your D is this week. I think
it's a little sketch. Yeah,
it is. You guys have like some great defensive guys that are just not going to be out there. I think the Falcons might be able to take advantage. They're at home.
I mean, anything could happen. You know, you could tell me that the Browns could lose every game this season. I would say, you know what? I wouldn't even argue because
the Browns are the better team. The Browns are the
Cleveland.
better team. I mean, it's obvious they're better, but I think this week with the defense being a little bit lacking, I think it's possible. So, and I got to make up games. Gabb. I'm like in the hole. Falcons, go Falcons.
Despite the Browns' injuries on the defensive line, I'm still a huge fan of their secondary. I think they'll kind of keep the Falcons at bay. Jacoby Brissett looks like he's really starting to settle in with that offense. And then obviously you got that two-headed monster in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So I got to go Browns in this one.
I don't know. The defense already underperforms with all these players unless the Jets score like 30-something points. So I'm kind of going to go the Falcons and like the upset, I guess. They're at home. Like, what are they going to do without Garrett? It's
going to be bad. It's going to be really bad.
We're going to be like, oh, my goodness, the Falcons, are they a sleeper? It's like, I don't know. The Browns are just down a lot of guys.
Oh, that was a 50-50 pick. I like it.
Good. I like the mix up here. So our fifth matchup, Jets at Steelers. Whitney, why don't you get us started on that one?
Jets, Jets. I'm going Jets. I just really think the Steelers suck so bad right now, and every dog has his day. I think today is the Jets' day to take down the Steelers.
Right. Honestly, Jets have surprisingly played some pretty good football here the last couple weeks. They didn't get the touchdowns last weekend, but Flacco is still kind of slinging the ball a little bit, which is disgusting.
Well, he's not playing.
They get their quarterback back.
It's Zach Wilson day.
Oh, look at me.
You're not allowed to take it back.
On this one.
You're gonna pick Steelers. If you were gonna pick Steelers, Tyler, I swear to God, you gotta keep it out.
No. I was. Jeez and Pete. I am going Jets as well. I was planning on going Jets. I think we hear the Boo Birds in Pittsburgh today calling for Pickett.
I think I'm going to go Jets too. And it's going to be really, if they want to start Kenny Pickett, today is the day to do it.
Thank you.
Because the next couple games they have, it's like the Bills, the Bucks, the Eagles. And like, you don't put him out there with that. If you're going to start him, you should start him today. Don't think it's going to happen. I think Mitch is going to have a bad day again. So we're also going with the Jets.
This seems like the worst game of the week.
Yeah, it seems really bad.
We got to throw in the divisional games. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was trying to figure out if you guys are like picking what the slop game of the week.
AFC North. We got to pick AFC North, Mike.
I think the Boos come out. They call for Pickett. Trubisky sucks, and the Steelers win. Like they're still calling for Pickett despite the. I had a friend over because I live over near the Pittsburgh area, and I had a friend over for the Bengals Steelers game, which was terrible for me. But
I've been there.
They were winning. Sorry. They were winning. He's like, they got to get Pickett in there. Mitch sucks. It's like you're winning. It's like I kind of agree though.
Why? To Gabb's point, I was thinking about this when I was thinking about my picks. Like, why the hell is this not the week that you let Pickett like cut his teeth on a Jets team? Like, seriously, this is the week to do it. Why are they not doing it?
My theory is just they want him to not die behind the offensive line.
I agree.
That's fair. I mean,
whatever.
Mitch Trubisky's a sacrifice
with that.
Poor guy.
All right,
All
whatever.
right. So hopefully our sixth matchup is a little bit more exciting as we have Denver at Las Vegas. Mike, why don't you get us started on that?
Oh, this matchup's confusing for I don't know what either of these teams are really doing. The Raiders, I think I'm gonna pick the Raiders, but like they suck, kind of. But the Broncos aren't very good either. So, but they're 2-1. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I feel like their backs against the wall. They have to win this game, or they're just toast. And they're just they're in the tank mode. So I guess I'll go Raiders. They'll keep themselves alive. But I don't feel confident about that at all. I feel like this game is like the wild card of the week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going Raiders. I'm going Raiders. There's no way they can lose another game. They have to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only reasoning. And Russell Wilson, the sandwich commercial.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah. Oh,
Not
so
for me.
spicy, and it was just like banana peppers and pepperoni.
Man, it's hard to watch, That's hard to watch. Him on the field, hard to watch.
His promos.
I live for it. I think somebody needs to clip together everything Russell Wilson's ever done. It's painful to watch, like cringeworthy.
I think I found that on YouTube the other day. It was like his top 5 cringiest moments.
Oh gosh.
And it was just all of his promos.
I got it.
When you search Russell Wilson on YouTube trying to find highlights, it's a bunch of Subway commercials.
Oh God, I love it. I am also going Raiders because they're at home. One of the things I find encouraging about that team is they don't seem to have fallen apart with how bad their season has started. They still seem pretty unified. So at some point that's got to come together. Broncos are sus as can be, in my opinion. And I also am I don't know why. I'm sure he's a very nice man, but I'm just not a Russell Wilson fan. So also I kind of want the Raiders to win. So yeah, I'm going Raiders also.
Yeah, I think the Raiders have been the most disappointing team in the league so far this year. Like I think everybody saw them fighting for a wild card, or at least a wild card spot this year, if not the division. So for them to be they're 0-3, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they get off the snide here this week. I think they kind of put everything together. So I'm going Raiders as well.
All right. Awesome. Go Raiders. All right, guys. That was good. We got some differences of opinion there. So somebody's pulling ahead this week.
Somehow we'll all go 2 and 3.
Yeah.
There'll be 6 ties this week, so we'll just all take losses.
It's all right. Whatever. So should we talk about this Thursday night game because of Gabb? Like this was your first time ever in Paycor Stadium?
Paul Brown Stadium. Yes, my first time there.
What did you think?
I will say the in-game experience was one of the best I've ever had. The people that we sat around were awesome. We made friends with so many people there. Yeah, it was just a really, really fun, great time.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's been I mean, we've seen the front office talk about this over the last 2 years, which is, we want to improve the game day experience. We want every game to feel different,
right.
And we want every game to be special. And I was thinking about this, Friday morning. I was like, they've really come through with that, because I don't think there's been a game where I've walked out of there. It's like, dang, I found this different, or this. It's just a different feel to it. So they've really delivered on that. So, Mike, you was there as well. What do you think?
Oh, it was super cool. I don't go that often, but yeah, that was definitely the best atmosphere. I went last year for the Thursday night game, and they were booing them off the field at halftime. And they won that game.
Awesome. I love it.
So yeah, it actually, winning, and then the Ring of Honor part was really cool too. Love seeing Willie and Isaac get their jackets and get put into the ring while I was drunk eating Dippin' Dots.
Whitney, how'd it look on TV?
You could tell, you could feel the energy on TV, and I'm not even kidding. And the little glances that I had of just even the lighting visuals and all of that before the game started was stunning. And I know that Elizabeth has said that like one of her priorities was to totally revamp the game experience for the fans, and just try to knock everybody's socks off and make it the best game day experience she possibly could. And I felt like her ideas and her goal for that was fully realized Thursday night, because it was just, you could tell it was phenomenal. Between all of you all tweeting and seeing what you guys saw and your pictures and your videos, and then what you could see on TV, it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, and the aesthetics of just the whiteout, like it really kind of felt like a college football atmosphere at the stadium, which I don't, you see teams try to pull it off in the NFL, and there's some that can do it and some that can't. And I'm really blown away by the Bengals fan base that came out, made it their mission to, get that place as white as possible. And it was incredible. So, yeah. And Gabby's 1-0 at Paul Brown Stadium.
Right. I should never come back.
So we're starting
every
to
game.
Okay.
We're starting to GoFundMe.
Oh, man.
Gabby's going to be a new Bengals season ticket holder.
Oh,
yes.
gosh. Yeah.
It's happening, Gabb.
Yeah. You see, you'll never see me again. No, I'm kidding. I will be back there sometime soon. I'm going on an AFC North tour. Doing like each stadium, each fan base, trying things with each, like just going and seeing how each fan does it there. So, AFC North tour.
Did you hit the tailgate? Did you hit the tailgate ahead of time?
No, because we were running so behind because we came from Cleveland that day, and like we were like waiting for like I had to wait for my friend to get done with work. We left at like 2, made some stops along the way. We got there like right as it started. But tailgate will be in mind for the next visit for sure.
I was going to say, I feel like that's one of the things that sets us apart. I think we tailgate really well.
Bengal Gyms is just a block party.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys ever been to the Muni lot in Cleveland?
Have not.
No.
Okay.
I've
you
heard
just
that's
have
a
to
no for opposing fans though.
Well, just wear a jacket.
We're
Because I have, and this isn't even like a tailgate. It's just if you want to see some chaos, you just take a walk around.
I've heard some stories.
You just take a walk, and you'll never see another place like it in your life.
that is on my getting up to Cleveland for a game is on my bucket list, and I always told my buddies like, hey, and especially the season you guys went 0-16. I was like, let's get Cleveland knocked out now.
And
like it's December. They're 0-14.
They were partying then. They're still partying now.
Oh shoot! But yeah, that's on my to-do list. But I love your idea of hitting all the AFC North stadiums. I've had the chance to go to Baltimore. We was bad that year, so we made some friends. The Ravens were competing with the Steelers for the division. That was an easy way to make friends. So
yep.
But no, I've had some good experiences with opposing fans. Been to a couple different stadiums, so excited for your journey, and definitely stay tuned for that.
But you did say our fan base was welcoming. Like, was it a good
they were very well. See,
you?
I wasn't wearing anything that wasn't like.
So, quick question: what color was you wearing for the game?
I had like a light gray hoodie on and like black leather. I had light gray hoodie on, black like leather pants, and then orange dunks. I fit in.
All right.
Right. But we were like around a lot of like Dolphins family too. We sat beside Jerome Baker's family, and then we were like talking to them. We're like, oh, we all came from Cleveland today. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you had a good experience. I think if you were gonna hit a Bengals game for the first time, that's the one. You nailed it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah,
I know there's a couple like first timers as far as like my little TikTok community that I've kind of grown, between yourself, Lacey Jane Brown was there for the first time. It sounds like she had a great time. So obviously as a Bengals fan, I'm going to have my biased opinions and be like, oh, this was an amazing experience. So I really wanted to get the neutral perspective on it. So thank you for providing that.
Yeah, it was great. I only have one complaint being there. I just couldn't find where the heck I was supposed to go to.
Really?
Yeah, Yeah, like all the signs were so small. We're like, we have to walk down these steps, and we're like, no, we got to go up these ones. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. Someone please help. But we found it.
God. I went to the Cardinals preseason game, or the Bengals Cardinals preseason this year, and there was a Ravens fan and a Browns fan walking together. I think there's a Steelers fan in that group too. It was 3 people, all AFC North rivals, and he's like, I hate this damn stadium. It's so confusing. I was like, it's just a giant circle. It's not that confusing.
I was lost for a minute though. That's probably that's probably my own doing. So
I got lost. Yeah, I got lost at Heinz Field the one time I went, so I get it.
That's
I
a
was
scary place to get lost.
in my Bengals jersey, I was just like, where am I supposed to be going? Then the Bengals lost by 25 on Monday night.
Oh God.
Oh, I feel like I was at that Monday night game. Was it like 2019, 2018?
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, it was terrible. Me.
I was there.
Oh God.
That was great. It was an anniversary gift. My fiance was like, it's an anniversary gift. And I watched them lose by 30.
Oh shit.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, and you can't return that.
Oh God. Kirk Cousins. Guys, Kirk Cousins is so bad, by the way.
Oh no.
He's been sacked like 3 times. He just threw an interception. It's only the first quarter.
Oh God. What's the score right now?
7-0 Vikings.
Okay,
this is what's going to happen.
Got that going.
This is what's going to happen with Pickett. He's going to, or Trubisky. He's going to get sacked 5 times, throw 3 interceptions, but they'll win like 10-7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Riveting. I can't wait to tune in as soon as we log off. So excited.
All right. Well, I know you guys are very busy people, and we very much appreciate you guys giving us your time here this morning. If you guys want to go ahead and plug your Twitter handles and your shows, go ahead. Mike, go ahead and start us off.
On Twitter at Bengals_Sands, film breakdowns, articles, whatever for all Bengals, and then catch game day. It's always game day in Cincinnati with me and Lindsey Patterson 3 times a week.
Right on.
Great show. I love that you guys started doing that, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Gabby?
Cool. You guys can follow me at Gabb Goudy, GABBGOUDY. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and if you want to see me talk some shit about some teams, if you want to see me mad about a Browns game, come on over this way because that happens a lot.
No, tell your show just really quick.
Oh, shoot. I forgot I even had that. See, here I go. Okay, Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Twitch and YouTube, FanDuel's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Me and my girl, Bree, we give you picks for the week. We talk about some funny things that happened. I'm sure we'll have a lot after this weekend because it's already starting off hot with Kirk Cousins. So that's what we got.
Yeah, you guys are going to be lit this week, I think.
Thanks again, guys, and enjoy your Sunday. And Gabby, I can't say good luck to the Browns. I'm sorry.
No, God, it's fine. It's whatever. Well, I'll
I hope you enjoy your Sunday. We'll leave it at that.
Thank you. The Guardians will win, and then I'll enjoy it.
There you go.
Yeah.
We can get on board with that.
Yeah.
All right.
See you guys. Thank you very much.
See ya.
All right.
We're big time at Whitney. 2 guests.
I know, right? We have our hands full today. But that was awesome. I'm glad Gabb had a good experience at the stadium.
I know
think
that's
one of the things I love about our fan base. I think we are a pretty welcoming environment for the most part.
Yeah. And I know like the 2 seats in front of my season tickets they're owned by scalpers. We constantly have different fans in there. Last season, we sat by a lot of opposing fans. We had 2 Dolphins fans in front of us Thursday night, and we had some Dolphins fans at the opposite end of our row. But all the Dolphins fans there Thursday night were absolutely chilled. It was very nice, and that's like one thing that I always try to do is, if I do see an opposing fan, in front of us or around us, I always try to strike up a conversation, just trying to make them feel a little bit welcome. And I feel like at least in the south end zone, just because that's where I'm familiar with, we have a great group that's always welcoming and pretty fair to opposing fans. So
Awesome.
to
Yeah,
get Gabby's
why
neutral
ruin-
perspective on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and like why ruin your football Sunday just being a jerk to the people that's going to be around you?
I mean, you're spending, roughly 100, probably more now, but you're spending hundreds of dollars to go to that game. Enjoy the experience. I mean, not everybody gets that chance to go. So, make friends with your neighbor, have a good time. Hell, make a new friend there. So like, it's an experience. Why try to, win or loss? You can make a good experience out of anything if you try. So, but yeah, I never understood the people that go to stadiums that like to start fights and stuff like that. It's just dumb in my opinion. But
I agree.
Go
ahead.
No. I was
ahead.
shifting. I was shifting.
I was just going to say really quick, I'm a big believer in killing them with kindness. And I love like the petty part of it. If you want to have a petty part of the whole thought process is like, make those opposing fans leave thinking like they kind of wish they were a Bengals fan. Like, oh man, those Bengals people are really cool. Oh man, they're having a lot of fun. Like I kind of want them to feel that way. But anyways, that being said, Thursday night, so beyond it being a good atmosphere, and I'm glad that it was for Gabb, like you said, a neutral perspective, she seemed to have a good time. But it was pretty magical, right? And I know you made a video about it too. But
yeah, so yesterday I reached out to Bengals fans on my personal Twitter account. I was hoping just to get 20, 30 pictures from the game, people rocking their all white gear. 130 responses, over 250 pictures. So to everybody that submitted a picture, thank you very much. I wanted to put a video together, just a montage of everybody's. I hope this isn't too quick, so everybody gets like 0.75 of a second on our show here. There's a couple submitted this morning. I apologize, I couldn't add those. It was just the timing is a little bit too late. But to everybody that submitted a picture, thank you very much. You guys did awesome Thursday night. The aesthetic of the whiteout at the stadium, like I said, it was like a college atmosphere. So here's the pictures that everybody submitted. Thanks again to
Tyler.
everybody that submitted a picture. That was honestly that whole night. When we was talking earlier about like game day experiences feeling different. That I tell you what, Thursday night going into that game, it felt like a playoff atmosphere. And I tell you what, I love this Bengals fan base so much because it's growing more and more every week, and it's feeling more. It's not even it's a fam base. I know Whitney, we've talked about that a million times. It's not just a bunch of people going to the stadium and hanging out. It's literally like, you're best friends with these people on Twitter. Then you see them at the stadium, and then it's just like, oh, hey, we're hanging out, but there's also a football game going on. And I love how close knit this fan base has become over the last year and a half, and it's only growing stronger every week. So
that's so true, and I refuse to call it a fan base anymore because I think it's so beneath us. I think our tailgates feel like family reunions, and I'm not even kidding, complete with like the weird cousins and the uncles and but I feel like I've got like this huge extended family of like brothers and sisters and stuff that I miss you guys all the time. I wish I could be there, but I live vicariously through your pictures. So I'm so not surprised in a way that you got so many submitted for that video because I know.
It took me about 20 minutes to like save all those photos. I mean, that was the hard part. I was like, all right, save, click, save, click, save. I'm like, good Lord. Yeah.
I want you guys to know that Tyler was working on that at like midnight last night. And so like hats off to you, dude. That's so cool that you did it. It really is. I love that. We'll try to share it somehow later so that everybody can see it.
Yeah, we'll probably, we could probably just, I know we can't tweet it, but because it's 2 minutes, 31 seconds. So it's like 10 seconds too long. But yeah, we'll get it uploaded to our channel.
We'll figure out
easy enough.
Yes.
But yeah. Yes. The whiteout, I can't talk enough about that. I mean, everybody, it wasn't just, a couple people here and there. It was literally everybody. And it wasn't just the fan. And I'm sorry, I keep saying that. It wasn't just the fans. Like the Bengals front office went all in on it. Like, I should have brought the souvenir cup. The souvenir cup was white. Gold Star chili. They changed over to cheddar cheese for their conies. It was like every last detail was like we are full in on the whiteout. And I mean, even painting the field white. Like I saw the initial.
We didn't even talk about that.
We didn't talk about that.
How did that look?
It was so cool. Crisp. It was beautiful. And I was worried because I saw the initial paintings and I was like, it kind of looks gray a little bit and you can maybe see a little bit of orange. But they went back and threw on a second coat and I was like, this is beautiful.
And on TV, it looks sharp as hell. It was freaking gorgeous. I agree with Eric. I loved the white pom-poms in every seat. Like they had a nice effect. I will tell you right now, me and Mom were sitting there watching the game, and the first time that the TV panned over the fans, it was before the players came out of the tunnel, and they were still doing like the strobe lighting and stuff like that. Her and I audibly gasped because it looked flat out white. Like the stadium, the stands, and we looked at each other and we're like, they freaking nailed it. Like our fans came through. Like you guys committed. And by the way, watching that video is one thing, but we have a sexy ass fan base. And let's just put it out there. Fashion. I wanted a white carpet for y'all to walk down or whatever, because I was like, dang guys, like some of the outfits were just fire. Absolute fire. And you pair that with the fact that the team looked cool as hell. Dude, the shot on TV of them like standing in the tunnel waiting to go out, chills. Beautiful.
You just gave me an awesome idea there, which Elizabeth Blackburn or anybody in that Bengals front office, if you're watching this show this morning, next time we do the whiteout, let's get a white carpet for the fans to do selfies on.
Yes.
That would be a nice little touch.
I love it because I mean, seriously, that was some fashion. It's like you guys were just like waiting for this moment. I mean, you threw it down. Everybody threw it down. It was so cool.
like I said, I mean, I know other fan bases have tried to do this, but going into the game, I was like, how serious are people going to take this? Like, I bet there's going to be a good majority, but to see everybody, and I mean everybody in white, it was awesome. And I hope we can rally everybody like that for, other games. I'd like to see an orange out.
Me too.
I can't remember what game we had what we had orange this year, but hopefully we can kind of rally everybody like that as well. And I'm going to say one more thing. There's one picture in there. It was like right from after halftime when they're doing the light show or whatever. But they turned off all the lights, and it was just the LED boards, which were orange, and it just kind of, obviously the white just glowed with orange, and it just kind of like looked like this fiery inferno. And I was like, this is intimidating as hell, and I love it. So, it's awesome to see. Hopefully, they keep building on this.
Sorry.
Oh, I got it. Eric said orange are 12-4 Chiefs. That's my birthday, so let's make it happen.
I like it.
Let's do
it. I would love an orange out, but yeah, Meg tweeted this, I remember, but also you could see it in other people's pictures. But when they did that orange effect, when everybody was wearing white, it was the coolest looking thing ever. It just looked like everything in the stadium was completely orange. It was gorgeous. Like I said, I know for sure, as far as our stadium, as Cincinnati home game is concerned, the most visually stunning that's ever happened for the Bengals. The most visually stunning. And then I would almost rival that with maybe any game in the NFL. I think it was perfection. Chef's kiss to Elizabeth and everybody involved, and also to every single fan for rocking the white. Because if people hadn't have done it, or if like half the people had done it, it wouldn't have looked as cool.
Yeah.
But truly, it looked amazing. And you could tell it was super obvious when the camera was on you guys. Like it looked like 100% just like white. It was gorgeous.
I thought I had the perfect Paul Brown Stadium or Paycor Stadium, whatever you want to call it. I thought I had the perfect picture of our stadium, which was the fireworks going. It was the picture from across the river looking at the stadium as the fireworks were going off after the wild card game. I was like, this is my new favorite picture of Paul Brown / Paycor Stadium. I think I'm going to have to find a whiteout picture from Thursday night, because that picture might top it. It really might.
Yeah, truly, just gorgeous. So I'm glad you got to be there. Maybe just like a little shout out to Jason and company for your little moment up in the suite. So you had a great vantage point, dude.
Huge shout out to Jason Silva, who is with the Betfred Sports Group. He invited me up to the Betfred Sports Suite at Paul Brown Stadium. I'm going with Paul Brown Stadium. I don't care. So I got a chance to. My plan was to only hang out there for just halftime and maybe a little bit of the third quarter. Ended up staying the entire third quarter. Fantastic group up there. The visuals from the suite was amazing, but one thing that I got to hear that I don't get to hear because I'm 14 rows up in the end zone, which the sound usually is collapsing on me. So you're part of the wave of the sound. But I went up to the suite and I got to hear the roar of the crowd from the suite, which, I mean, nobody's like yelling from there, but to hear the roar of the stadium from a suite was, oh man, Bengals fans brought the heat Thursday night. And I know like Laura just got like her Apple Watch this week, so it'll give you like decibel level warnings if it's too loud. And I know there's multiple times where we crossed the 100 decibel threshold a few times. So we get another home playoff game. I mean, we've talked about it before. The jungle has been restored, but if we get another playoff game this year, I fear for the health of my ears. So I'm like really debating if I should get earplugs for the games, because it's every game.
They make those orange ones. They're bright orange. Those 100 ones, like, just go for it. Just rock it. Make it part of the look.
My ears were ringing Thursday night. I know I've said that about a couple games over the last year and a half now, but my ears were ringing Thursday night, and it's almost a must at this point to bring earplugs.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to start the hashtag roar at the core, because why have not we started that yet? It's super
Yes.
loud there. Like, let's
Yes,
do it.
Whitney.
Yes.
Let's get that patent. We're gonna sell T-shirts. Roar at the core.
Roar at the core. It's gonna happen. Start it. All right. Well, I'm glad that you put that video together. That was bomb, and I'm glad everybody submitted their photos, and just I lived vicariously through all of you on Thursday night. So thanks for everybody sharing their stuff.
Thank you guys. That was honestly just a memorable night. So
yeah.
Well, hey Whit, this was our longest show ever. Not like we tried to like drag it out or anything. We just had a lot to talk about. So I think we can kind of end things here for the week. Thank you again for joining us. I remembered this time we got to plug our channel and we got to plug our social media. So, hey, we crossed 250 followers on Twitter. We are storming towards 300 right now. So if you could give us a follow on Twitter at The Morning Prowl, we'd greatly appreciate it. Excuse me, the throat's getting a little dry. I am out of coffee right now. Also, give us a follow on YouTube. We are currently at 31 subscribers. I would like to get 50 subscribers before the Ravens game. So if you could hit that like button, give us a subscription or whatever the heck it's called. Pretty please. It'd be greatly appreciated. But hey, guys, we always appreciate you joining us here this morning. We will be back next week, same time, same place, prepping for those Dirty Birds in Baltimore. So once again, guys, thank you for joining us. Enjoy your nice, relaxing Sunday fun day, and go everybody else except AFC North. Hoo day.
Hoo day.